On the road with three musicians, through roads where time stands still, we are headed for an exciting ride. Our first artist today is Sultana, a singer-songwriter whose powerful lyrics can easily earn her the title of the Dark Princess of Pop. Music is the language, the medium, and the method Mo uses to express herself. To unravel the illusion of a perfect society, all disguised in a perfect melody. A regular on BBC Radio 1's playlist, Nucleya's beats form the heart and soul of his particular brand of drum and bass. He formed his first band, Bundish Project, remixing samples from old Indian advertisements and Hindi movies. Today, his definitive sound makes him a coveted and integral part of the changing Indian indie scene. Being the only Indian rapper is a strong enough identity, but in Nabeen's case, it was his effortless ability to freestyle that earned him his stripes. Collaborations with A.R. Rahman and the Foreign Beggars, recording with a number of independent and major labels, and creating a strong voice, both positive and decidedly Southeast Asian, make him an unusual but magnetic part of hip-hop culture. I'm Monica Dogra, singer, songwriter, and one half of electro rock act Shire and Funk. Join me as we travel far and wide to bring you stories, moments, and songs that remind us time and again that some things are just worth doing. Welcome to the Dewarists. There are some cities that thrive on the future, and then there are some that flourish through the stories of their past. Their present exists only as an homage to the centuries that have been. We are in Kolkata, where we can travel through time in every narrow lane. In the heart of a billion stories, spilling across hundreds of years, we still find ourselves welcome to begin a new one. Sultana knew from a very early age that music would define her. Her lyrics are a potent criticism of society.
My parents were big time into music, even though that wasn't their full-on profession. And I was being trained as Eastern classical singer. Mom took me to All India Radio and told me, "Beta, sing." And I was like, and I didn't sing. So my mom started preparing, and she kept saying, "Wake up every morning and practice." So that was practice before you go to school, practice after you come back from school. So that's when I thought maybe I could do music. But then my parents weren't totally interested in it. I mean, they were interested that music is a part of your life, but it doesn't have to be a profession. In between, while I've been pushed for Eastern Classical, I had an antenna in the house. And I moved it to one side and got a channel called TNT, something like that. And that was the only source of a whole new world of music. Suddenly I started listening Deep Purple, like Queen, Doors, and I'm like, who are these people? This is something I really want to do. And I could feel it in my skin, and I'm like getting really excited. So obviously that was like my life-changing moment. After 12 onwards, I think I was writing about everything around me. My song became like a way of me releasing any kind of thing I had. So whenever I felt bad, tired, ugly, stupid, I would come back and immediately write it. And every song felt like I'm giving birth. Every song felt like a labor pain. So the moment the song is done, I never felt like it actually felt like... I always thought, if I want to sing any kind of thing that I'm writing, who is there to support me? So I thought guitar can support me, but there was nothing to practice on. About 1,500 rupees or something that you can go buy a guitar. 1,500 rupees, like, I wouldn't get more than 20 for my pocket money. So I was like, what am I gonna do? So I went to the almari, I stole my dad's money. I'm really sorry, but I actually went and finally bought the guitar. Absolutely nobody knew in my house I had a guitar. There was this guy I used to listen to a lot called Nucleya, singer-songwriter himself. I met a friend of mine who used to play guitar with him. So he took me to the backstage. Like a stupid idiot, I claimed that I sing Nilanjana better than him. And he kind of laughed at me. And then he asked me to perform. So I basically sat in the backstage with a guitar and I sang. And he was very impressed with it. And he took me in this album called Abishkar. I met a guy called Anjan Datta. He was auditioning for a TV series about Bangla band called Half Chocolate. I was auditioning for the music, but he ended up asking me to come over and shoot and sing. So basically, I got into the whole acting thing because I wanted to promote my music. So by then, I have about like 30 songs, and I was doing shows, but I really wanted to like get my own album out. Anurag Kashyap changed my life because Anurag Kashyap told me, I know somebody who would release your thing. And I thought this is a great chance because like I wasn't trying to act ever. It just happened like that. Got so much money, bought a house, it's fine, like I don't need this. So I basically just took off and I left and I went to Bombay and I met Anand and he signed a contract and I was recording my own stuff and the album was ready. And it didn't release. But that's not the main goal of me. My main goal is to basically enrich myself and make more weird chord combination and come up with a brilliant song. I've gone through things, done things, and I should have never been there doing that because of music. And I've paid the price. Sometimes it has costed me a relationship with somebody that is amazing, and I would never find somebody like that in my life. But I don't feel one tiny bit of regret because it's totally worth it. The passion I have for music it's worth living for. I can do anything in this world for that.
Udayan Sagar made his first audio mixer out of cassette players decades ago. Today, as Nucleya, he has graduated into making music that slotted him as one of India's most exciting electronic musicians.
I was born in Agra. I was 4 or 5 years old. Then we all shifted to Ahmedabad. When I was around 18 or 19 years old, my father gave me my first computer. Initially, it was just for playing games, but then I got some softwares from my friend. One of the software was Fruity Loops. That was my thing. That was my toy. So when I was experimenting with it, I realized that there are more possibilities. You know, if I change this particular bit here, the sound completely changes. And that's how I started making my own beats. the early days as a kid, I remember my father used to play a lot of music from 50s and 60s, Indian film music. And as I was growing up, my brother used to play a lot of pop music at home. The whole process of making music is very structural. There's an intro, there's a verse, there's a chorus, there's a bridge, there's a set process. And everyone follows that. When I heard Talvin sing, he didn't follow these rules. And the music was still amazing. Because there was so much of film music, because there was so much of cheesy music at home, when I heard this other side of music, it was like an instant connection with that thing. I met these bunch of friends and they used to create like compositions on their instrument. One of them was Mayur, with whom I formed the band as well. Bandish project happened in the late 90s, early 2000. Bandish means composition in Indian classical language. I didn't like Bollywood bit at all. It wasn't interesting for me. I wanted to experiment and there wasn't many opportunities, you know. If I'm offered to do a remix of a Bollywood track, I'll take the composition and try and build something new around it, you know. That's how you give it a new life. पहले मैं बहुत मोटा था, मेरी बीवी मुझसे कहती थी ये देखो गेंडा आ गया. So you know, I'll just capture that bit, you know, and arrange it in a way where it talks with the beats, you know. This is interesting. This is not done yet. It's still music, it's still rhythmic. So this is my approach. The people who are running the business, the record companies, they didn't like that approach. I received a call from Gessi, who was part of the Anokha gang earlier. Now he runs Nasha Records. And he called me up and he was playing my own track on the phone. I was still in college at that point of time. And it's like, this thing is dope and I love this track and we want to put it out on our compilation. So this is all happening while we were in Ahmedabad. So when we moved to Dubai and we were doing that Bollywood gigs and all of that. So we're doing Bollywood music and we're still doing this underground thing because our heart is still there, you know. We used to sleep, make music, eat, make more music and sleep. That is what was on for a very long time. Bandish project was well known nationally and internationally as well. Like I was getting so much into electronics, I really wanted to experiment. I wanted to go into a particular direction and I couldn't see that direction being part of a band. I got a chance to actually do that after I moved out of Bandish project. I moved out without gears, money, studio. I was not being offered gigs because those gigs were for Bandish project. I thought that probably is the time when I should restart. And I had it in my brain that I should just keep doing music. I shouldn't stop doing music. Why should I stop doing music? Unfortunately, nobody knew Nucleya. It started as a hobby. It's still a hobby. I'm just getting paid. But I still do it from my heart. And I do it because I firmly believe in it.
In Nabeen's story, his ethnicity and circumstances combine to create a very unusual voice. As an Indian kid, Nabeen created an unforgettable persona in Brooklyn, Shanti.
When I was a baby, and they would speak in Bangla to me around the house. It sounds like birds talking to each other, but it sounds like bird poetry to a Western ear. I was born in the South, in the United States, Hickory, North Carolina. My father is a scientist, so I grew up in a household of heavy scientific thinkers. As a kid, I construed this thing on the kitchen floor, and I grabbed the spatula and like the spoons. I pulled out all the pots, all the pans, and it was just sounds, sounds. Amiko tai dekechi atto sundor me amar ekdom mone ne. Kotai dekechi atto sundor me amar mone ne bhagavan amar pran buke theke ne now. Around the age of 6, my parents moved us to Washington, D.C. So I was the only Indian kid in the school. I think I was in the 2nd or 3rd grade. And there was a group of kids, and they were freestyle rapping. I like my bat, I got this cat, I wear my hat, how about that? Automatically, I was like, oh, this is like mantras. This is exactly what I've been doing. And then I was like, I see your hat, I got your cat, I beat you with your bat. How about that? And then after that, it's like, you know how kids are, they're like, oh! And it was like, yo, this weird little kid that comes to school dressed in a suit, smelling like coconut oil from his head. There's something about this guy. Ami jani ekdin tumi bujhbe tarpore tumi shunbe. Rani rani ami kono din kichu bolini lojjar theke. Jodi amra ekshonge moja kori ke ki bolbe. Kichu mone koro na go ami chupchap boshe thakbo ekene kotai dekechi atto sundor me amar ekdom mone ne. When I got into junior high school, there was a big rap contest. In the middle of the ghetto in Washington, D.C., auditorium packed. The first Indian in the world is about to rap. And everyone's just laughing. They're like, oh my God. And I start rapping like that. That crowd turned from people laughing into, what is this? From front to the back, to the judges, to the artists, to the camera crew, all the hands were in the air. Yow, I meet the button to Robert Redford, knew I'd be a MC before I said words. No, this ain't the hills, what you head for? Be my city, right said Fredberg. At that point in time, rap music was scary. It was something only being done in the hood. As the years passed, rap got linked with violence, and my parents just felt that that was, you know, the destruction of society. Well, eventually, they got frustrated. You know, they sent me back to New Delhi for a year to isolate me. I went back. I still had it in me. They were like, get out. But they on my back, yes, I can rock. I'm super ego, while they just some id talk. My brother's cool out, making you bebop, protecting indoor, hip-hop, Ewok, everything that you So now it's taking it to the next level. How do I get money for the skill I have? A guy named Sean Dinsmore, he was the head of a group called the Dum Dum Project. And he said, look, you're not a black kid from the ghetto. You're Bengali. I have this music which is directly connected to Kolkata. Those first 5 years, I joined and we toured the world non-stop. We were the first group to have a hit record that took the dynamic of being an Indian artist in the West out of drum and bass and placed the emphasis on the hip hop.
It's like a space odyssey, Maximilian, number 5. Yes, I be Haji, but I talk the live job, why try? I flow pharmaceutical, what the beat to
In 2006, after a bit of success with Dum Dum Project, I kept getting told, kid, you gotta sell, and sell like you've never done it before. You've never made a song objectifying women, why? Call a B word a B word. It's gonna sell more records. And these kinds of people came into my life. And I said, look, I don't wanna do anything that's not me. I'm gonna quit. This ain't why I got into this. And whether I release music or not, I'll keep making it. It comes from my spirit. It comes from my essence. But I never want to get on the mic and sell a record that's not true to who I am.
Yeah, listen up. See Monroe, I'm baby to the raging bull. Little Hindu rock him, that's staying paid in full, debatable.
A week after I quit, one of my close friends was like, congratulations. Africa Bambaataa just put out a press release that you are the Indian Bambaataa for all your work. I was like, holy moly. I'm being recognized for my work and sticking to my guns. And in 2006, he kind of became my guru. Since then, it's been an amazing chance to learn everything that he has done in order for hip hop to be what it is.
You know who it is? We rock with finesse.
I used to call myself the one Shanti. The place in my imagination where I felt a draw toward my energy from a young age was this place called Brooklyn. There's an energy for me spiritually in Brooklyn. My life falls into place here. I fit. I make sense to everybody here. I found home. And I just want to bring Shanti. That's my vibe. Brooklyn Shanti it is.
Our stage is set and our parts have been selected. Mo will be meeting Udyan and Nabin for the first time. And although their musical languages might be planets apart, I'm hoping they find some common ground to start off.
So, Mo, you're from Calcutta, no?
I am.
Yeah, when was the last time you were here?
I was in Calcutta probably about 8 years ago.
You guys can speak in Bengali with one another.
I was really excited to hear you basically do raps in Bengali because I've never heard that.
The way you sing, it's not how I hear Bangla singing, it's very different.
I think, hip-hop's all around us and you kind of borrow from other aesthetic. Like the way you flip traditional Indian music into like this other context altogether is the way that we've been flipping Bangla to like change the context.
There you go, yeah.
So have you guys kind of like talked about the song?
We've been exchanging ideas. We have something which we can work on.
I think in Bengali music history, at least, this would be the first for like heavy lyrics with Bangla rap and heavy bass line like Nucleya. I don't think it has ever been done, no.
In the heart of the busy city is a haven of spiritual calm. It's where we are headed to watch one of West Bengal's most enduring legacies, a baul performance.
Today we guys came for baul songs. So we came to this beautiful place with lots of rivers and lots of kind of hut houses. That was like a big refreshment for my memory. Yeah, that was amazing.
I've heard a lot of film music from 17 and 80s, and I'm aware of what S.D. Burman did, I'm aware of what R.D. Burman did, and now I can actually see the connection because it all sort of evolves from here.
Killed me all night. Like a poison burning me.
It's really nice because Brooklyn Shanti and Mo Sultana both have family or descendants. They're from Kolkata.
It's interesting because when I was growing up in America, my parents actually had me learn a lot about, and that's sort of, my ethos as well. So Even if it's not blatant, it's always there as a subtext. It's part of our culture.
I asked what the difference is between folk music and ball music. I really enjoyed the explanation that I got.
It's not like Bengali folklore because folkloric music is more like communication from, person to person. But Baul music it comes from the soul. It comes from within. It's more like channeling energy and stories from the universe.
I was familiar with Baul music from a very young childhood because my parents, they were big time into music, but my mum actually did a thesis on Sufism. She used to explain to me all the time ideas they believe in, like that God shouldn't be worshipped as like ritual or an idol or something. Then life gets more easier.
I think that these guys for sure will take that ethos and kind of put it into the song that they create.
This is a great influence because we recorded a couple of bits and pieces of the instruments. We kind of was actually thinking that the sound that the Bauls have, very rural Bengal sound, folk music, and that kind of sound we wanted to put in somehow.
We have the basic idea ready. I was in touch with these guys and I sent them some stuff and they really, really liked it. So we have some basic idea in place.
And there's quite a lot of chemistry between all three of them. So we immediately came to the hotel where a studio has been built in Nucleya's room.
I just met those two guys and then walked into the studio. I did hear Nucleya before, but the beat he made is awesome, absolutely awesome.
So, we were talking about the fact that, Durga Puja just ended here in Kolkata, and remember that idea that you were talking about? Like the thing you heard at the puja?
Oh, yes. It's this thing where these ladies, they scream together in Durga Puja. It just sounds amazing. And I had that sample in my sound bank. So instead of actually creating a melody out of a synthesizer, I thought I should probably just use that as a melody and make it sound more melodic.
So where does the rhyme part?
So this is the place where you can jump in. Then we can probably hear this another thing which I had. It's on a different tempo. I should give you guys a mic.
Oh, you got a mic here?
Yes. Played them the beats which I was working on. And instead of one, we actually picked two. And now we're thinking how to sort of create a balance and get both of those things to sit together and create some tracks out of it.
I've never rapped before. You've never rapped? Never in my life, no.
Maybe we should.
I knew he raps in Bengali, Shanti, but doing that with him on the spot was so much fun, and I just got into it somehow. Melody started coming, and I just kept on going. It turned out to be something I never even expected.
So
here's the big question, like, we're here in Kolkata. Obviously both of us do a lot of stuff in English, and we've got that whole dimension, but we're here. Should we confine what we're doing to Bangla, or should we fuse it with English? What are you feeling?
Kolkata in this song will come in definitely, because even if none of us want it, I will write in Bengali.
Songwriter stuff?
I'm not above it.
This is crazy.
Both Mo and Brooklyn Shanti are very, very rooted in their culture, but they're also evolutionaries, revolutionaries.
Brooklyn Shanti, he's amazing when he's rapping in Bengali. So I've already told him that it'll be great if he can at least get a 16-bar thing in place where he's just talking about.
I'm really looking forward to working with these two because there's so much potential and so much lovely energy, that vibe going on.
Sultana sings in Bengali, so that's an amazing thing. And her whole approach towards singing and songwriting is old school, which I am in love with. So I want to incorporate that as well. There's just too many things right now. I can see them fit together, but I still need to spend some time and find a nice balance.
Actually, you know what would be cool? If you put your own voice through the you don't have to rap. You can't see what I can't see. You have the world.
Brooklyn did something I absolutely couldn't believe he would do. The lyrics I wrote, he has gone and sung in falsetto, which he has never done either, just like I've never done rapping. And so he's complimented my lyrics.
You can't see what I can see. In the palm of your hand, 'cause you're beautiful.
Nucleya is the glue. He's like, I'm calling him Mogambo, but he's got that attitude finally, like you do what you don't do good, and you do what you don't do good. So if he didn't inspire us, we wouldn't be doing all these. And the track, I mean, that's amazing, the track he came up with. I mean, if that track wasn't there, none of us would be inspired. So he's literally the glue.
This guy right here,
Mogambo.
he's a freaking, he's something else, man, because everything that I wanted to do, that I was planning to do and play off of you and do this, and I started doing that, and he just walks in the room and he was just, no.
Crocodile mein pink though. I would go to people's houses and I would ask them 10 questions, and for each question I would give 100 rupees, and I would say, oh, namaskar, ajke apni eshen shoba barite.
I have an idea from what you had brought up right here. We are now ready to take flight.
What do they say in the flights?
Place your seats in the upright position. We are now ready to take flight. But that might be too much, because when a listener on the dance floor...
Or what about just place your seats in the upright position?
Place your seats in the upright position.
Brooklyn's basically very powerful voice, and the way he raps is just unbelievable.
I think it's a pretty well-established fact that I'm a space alien. We were kind of like thinking about space aliens are nomadic, and we just happen to be two Bengali artists that wound up in the same circumstance in life to a certain extent as artists and as Bengalis.
Traceable, untraceable, space nomads,
Undefeatable. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, undefeatable, yes.
that's it. I'm a bird getting so high I fly. Sometimes I'm falling from the sky. I'm feeling the gravity through my bones. It's chaos when I'm on the microphone.
There is a story flowing through the two tracks, and so with a lot of voices going, we're going to join it, but now it's Nucleya. He's going to join it with like his wonderful tweaking and twitching.
So here we go.
Place your seats in upright position. Thank you for flying with us. Welcome to the land of chaos.
No. Wait.
So when he came in and he heard it, he was dancing like Mogambo almost. He was really all over the place and he loved it. I don't think he expected anything along the line that we were doing.
I believe we're 95% there now. I just need to take one final mix down and we are ready.
These are two of the most hardest working people I've ever met, and it's just an honor to be placed in the same category as them.
There's been all this tossing around, oh, that's never been heard before. Bangla's never been heard this way before. And this isn't a normal song. It's like a film. It's a story.
We time travel with forgotten letters, scratchy movie reels, and deep, dark corners of crumbling houses. But we forget the one thing that holds them together: stories. And sometimes the story comes in the form of a song.
Welcome to Infinity. Our flight time today is yet to be determined. Your Captain Nucleya has switched on the fasten seatbelt sign. At your services are Brooklyn Shanti and Mo Sultana. Languages spoken on this flight today are English, Bengali, and Bass. Flight attendants prepare to take off. Sit back, relax, and hold on to your face.
Place your seats in upright position.
Sometimes I fall from the sky, feeling the gravity through my bones. It's chaos when I'm on the microphone. The bass is so heavy, I won't hit the ground. It's concrete, but it won't make a sound. Brooklyn, Shanti, Sultana, Nucleya. Y'all ain't heard nothing like us. Unbreakable, untraceable. Space nomad, unbelievable. Unbreakable, untraceable. Space nomad, unbelievable.
Please return to your seat. We are experiencing turbulence.
I'm falling from a boost up sun on the third rock from it. Watch as I plummet. Before I was born, I was on some ish. Came back to earth, now everybody love it. It's in the love of my soul, the love of my lyrics. But the fact that no one alive can break my spirit. Space nomad, can't take no more. Bengali, the beat that I have to go.
Thank you for flying with us. Welcome to the land of chaos. নমস্কার, আজকের বিশেষ খবর হলো তিনজন সন্দেহজনক ব্যক্তির আকস্মিক আগমনে শহরে আতঙ্ক ছড়িয়ে পড়েছে। দূরদর্শীরা আমাদের ভবিষ্যৎ আপাতত অন্ধকার বলে জানাচ্ছেন। বিশেষ সূত্রে খবর পাওয়া গেছে এই তিনজন আমাদের আলোর খোঁজ দিতে পারেন। আপাতত এইটুকুই, আগামী খবরের জন্য কান খুলে অপেক্ষা করুন। কত কিছু আছে বলার আমার, কত কিছু আছে শেখা বাকি, কত কিছু ভুলে ভুলে যাচ্ছি, রোজ রোজ মগজ দিচ্ছে ফাঁকি। এই শহর আমার শহর, তোমার শহর ভেবো না। চাও যদি ভাবতে নিজের আমার মতো পাবে যন্ত্রণা।
You can see what I can see. You have the world in the palm of your hand, 'cause you're beautiful. You can see what I can see. You have the world in the palm of your hand, 'cause you're beautiful.
ভালোবাসা বাজে বাসা, কারো আশায় থেকো না। আশায় মরের চাষা যেন নেবই মারে দই বাতাসা। আমি তবু ভালোবাসি, কলকাতার প্রেমে আছি। ভালো লাগে লোকে বলে আপনায় কোথায় দেখেছি।
You can see what I can see. You have the world in the palm of your hand, 'cause you're beautiful.
কেন খেয়েছি চুমু কোনো মেয়েকে আমি ছায়া ছবিতে, কেন লিখেছে গান আমায় নিয়ে বাংলা কবিতে। কত প্রশ্ন আর দুশ্চিন্তা লোকের মনে আমায় নিয়ে। ধরে থাকো সংস্কৃতি খুঁজি দুটি যেন জানা খুলে। কেন খেয়েছি চুমু কোনো মেয়েকে আমি ছায়া ছবিতে, কেন লিখেছে গান আমায় নিয়ে বাংলা কবিতে। কত প্রশ্ন আর দুশ্চিন্তা লোকের মনে আমায় নিয়ে। ধরে থাকো সংস্কৃতির খুঁজি দুটি যেন জানা খুলে। এই অনুষ্ঠানে প্রকাশিত মতামতের জন্য কর্তৃপক্ষ দায়ী নয়।
Today was like amazing juice followed by awesome sauce.
The most amazing shoot I've done so far.
Just getting to know each other was an experience I never went through.
This is a track which pushes us all outside our comfort zone. I think this year, this was probably the most amazing collaboration I've done.
A lot of good music happened, a lot of dancing happened.
An amazing experience where you're just thrown into somewhere, energies vibing off, bouncing off each other.
While we were shooting the whole video, I could see the energy flowing because everyone was dancing, which was brilliant.
It was pure, unadulterated energy. I don't think it's over yet.
It really happened when I knew, wow, I love it and I have to earn money. I was just thrown, not really helped. I was helping myself playing for Ganpati on the street. Anyway, I just loved to play. I made my money.
9 to 5, office, Chardwari, not my scene at all. I was actually very worried, like, what's going to happen because I was in this small town, Chandigarh. And I knew that I'm going to do this, it's going to happen. I don't know how it'll happen, but it will.
That transition phase before I met Sukni and before things started working out financially, it was a tough period. But meeting Sukni, I don't think even she thought things were going to happen so quickly. We made about 8-10 songs in 10 days and we had our first show in like 2 weeks.